How about another blast from the past? Nearly 16 years of development have gone into World of Warcraft. Released in 2004, no one really knew how much of a profound effect it would have on not only the MMO industry, but the gaming industry as a whole. People, places, and things change, but with the recent re-release, classic World of Warcraft has proven itself to be timeless, and people from all over the world have taken a trip back to the past and are basking in its nostalgic glory. And it's also what we're going to do today. PC Gamer, Volume 11, Issue 13, November 2004. A month that changed the world of Warcraft. I do have the actual physical issue. It's over here to the right, so let me just grab that real quick. Okay, sorry about that. Should have had that in frame for you. I will have a scan uploaded of all of the relevant World of Warcraft pages. What's interesting is that this is one of two covers. Here you can see the Alliance version. Unfortunately, I could only find the stupid Horde version online, probably because they can't read, so they just sell it instead. In total, from cover to back, it's 136 pages. Look at this guy. It's me or the games. Love, Alicia. Well, sorry honey, we got some levels to grind. What a gamer. We do actually have a demo disc here as well. It's kind of funny though that it's not even for a game, but rather an expansion pack. So do you need the original game to even use this? What a strange idea. I wonder if this would fire up on any modern computer. Yeah, remember when you needed the actual disc for expansions? Remember waiting outside of Best Buy for 10 hours before launch in sub-zero temperatures? Truly, the most time that many players spent in the outside world. Okay, screw that. You came for World of Warcraft, so I'll give you World of Warcraft. Note that if you just want to read this yourself, I do have the scans uploaded in the description. You should check it out. There's way too much to cover in one video. I'll just hit the highlights here. Soon, the fog of war will be lifted, and thousands of mighty heroes will await you in an online world of myth, magic, and legendary adventure. This is Warcraft like you've never seen it before, and it's as good as it looks. Yeah, just look at those awesome N64 graphics. Just count the pixels. Soon, there'll be nothing holding you back. From doxing people because they farmed more honor than you. This issue is interesting because it's actually a guide, which just begs to be made fun of. Like, you just know that there's going to be some ridiculous outdated crap in here. The game had just released, but of course the beta was raging on for many months, so that's why we'll see some screenshots of people in high-level gear. At this point, the author was a god amongst men, and most people starting off were brand new, not only to the game, but also the genre. And here we have proof that clickbait mentality existed way before YouTube. The 20 things you absolutely must know before you begin playing. That's just awesome stuff right there. Guides have shifted into the digital form, and it's the exact same shit. All we're missing really is someone giving their best impersonation of a blow-up doll. But surely, this must hold a treasure trove of ultimate gamer tips, such as this Night Elf High DPS warrior. I just love how the first thing you see is the worst race and class combination possible in the entire game for PvE and PvP. That's just beautiful. I actually do mean that though. There's a certain beauty of no one knowing what the best is, and people experimenting and just figuring stuff out on their own. With the advent of data mining and YouTube and the optimization mindset, it's a lost art and something I don't think we'll ever truly get back. Not just with World of Warcraft, but gaming in general. This is a perfect template for soloing, and for warriors who want to try an entirely different style of, quote, tank. Instead of trying to max armor, defense, and damage mitigation in general, you're more of a rogue-styled warrior. This is just great because today, 90% of the raiding warriors are dual-wielding in leather gear. It's more alluding to a bit of a hybrid playstyle though. Ah, the lost art of the hybrid spec. Today, it's you tank, you DPS, or you heal, current or classic. A jack-off of all trade and master of none is laughed out of the party, and it's sad. This is one of the many victims crushed under the yoke of hyper-optimization and min-maxing. It represents more of an innocent time of just randomly throwing in points like blindfolded darts. Your value as a player wasn't just boiled down to a number, and due to everyone's poor knowledge of the game at the time, you could get away with stuff like this. It is a bit ahead of its time though, in the sense that it's basically a DPS warrior tank. Everybody goes crazy about Fury Prod, where you forego a shield and defense in exchange for more threat. That didn't happen in vanilla. Well, it did for this guy. Here are the actual talents. It's more centered around an arms tanking build rather than Fury though. And remember, this is launch day, so check out the 1.1 talent calculator. I'll have it linked in the description if you're really curious. Strengths, exciting playstyle. It was exciting at the time. People laugh at the rotations today, but as I've said in many videos, this was impeccable design compared to the other reigning MMOs at the time. When your competitor uses a queue system for combat, anything looks good in comparison, trust me. Back then, it was a finely tuned masterpiece, and while the rotations themselves have certainly shown their age, the actual combat and damage feedback feels as good as ever, and if there's anything that's timeless with the game, it's that. It just feels good to hit stuff. Here's a fun little exercise, the famed 20 things you must know. Pause the video here and score yourself. Did you know all 20 of these? Do you consider them a must-know, like, you can pull abilities from your spell book to your hotbar? Laugh all you want at this, but if you watched my memory series, you'd know that I had a friend who apparently didn't read this issue because he went to level 30 clicking abilities in his spellbook. Alright, open up this Frostbolt. Oh crap, aggro. Alright, Arcane tab. Let's blink out of here. Nice. I'm so good at this game. Yeah, people were actually this bad at the game, and it was absolutely beautiful. Here we see that undead could speak the common language, making them the only race capable of cross-faction communication at the time. That all stopped when you had situations like this, where this mage would lure in poor newbies outside of Redridge to a trainer who doesn't exist, so he could pyroblast them in the mouth. But what are these special items he's talking about? Maybe they're for streamers only. It's actually a pretty detailed guide, even going over professions, how to use abilities, and even where to keybind abilities. Hey, wait a second. Professions, blacksmithing and mining, hotbar bombs. Turbo guide, 0 of 10, thumbs down. Rend is very rage efficient. It's often a good investment. Okay, enough of the warrior guide. The whole thing is a joy to read though, and I implore you to read the scans. I wish I could cover it all, but with how much I digress, it would be a 4-hour video. The screenshots are in a class of their own. If you're low on cash, stick to places where food is plentiful. That's just beautiful. Warrior leveling summed up in one perfect sentence. And here we have another eerily accurate prediction. Druid, backup healer. Sorry guys. Hunters, powerful, consistent pets, notable range damage, and pulls literally everything. Hey guys, look at this cool shaman. You like this human shaman running around? Remember, horde only. Oh, and here's my favorite. The best tip for leveling a warrior, join a group. Not only is Rend instant, but it's also extremely efficient. Damn, this guy really likes Rend. Who doesn't like doing 28 damage every 3 seconds? Come on. One thing I really like about this guide as a whole though, is that it has such a heavy emphasis on interacting with other players. Group if you're having trouble, or make friends with a blacksmith. Do favors for people since they might give you a buff. It's a lost art in the game today, and it's a sad state that this interaction is avoided because all quests are soloable, and things such as shared mob tagging, dungeon finder, raid finder, and cross-realm that just alienates the players from each other. When you create a need for this player interaction, you create a need for a community. When you have a community, you have an MMO. You bring the value of you as a person to a group. Inefficient builds or gameplay can be looked over if you're enjoyable to play with. And it's a sad state of affairs today that people are so deathly afraid of covenants not being balanced or efficient, so they'll get booted from groups and raids. They've balanced out or otherwise removed critical social structures of the game for the sake of this ultra convenience, and making friends is the new legendary rarity. Since there's no community, you're now just a number. You as a person bring no value to an average group, which is just a depressing thing in a community-oriented genre. If you see another player, charge first and then rend. Oh, Jesus Christ, with the rend. Does this guy have the rend icon tattooed on his body somewhere? Guys, don't use rend ever, unless it's a rogue, okay? It actually does give some pretty prudent advice though. I swear that some players even today would benefit from reading this. Also, don't be afraid to spam buttons. And they also do the same build and guide for an undead priest. Leveling as holy in discipline. Off to another great start. But maybe I shouldn't say that because during the time the game was fresh and dungeons had to be popping all the time, so I'm sure it was fine, just group reliant. And again, community oriented, so healers were the quickest to make friends for sure. It wasn't really about leveling as fast as possible. The first level 60 in fact was a dude named Zenith, a troll rogue who hit it on December 3rd, 2004, which is much slower by today's standard, but still a legend during his time. And here again, we see another quirk of the undead. Alliance priests can shackle you. Undead players were of the undead type, so you couldn't fear them, sap them, or polymorph, but you could shackle or paladin fear. Something that never made it to release though. And here we see them talking about the combat res. Yes, every healer had a combat res back then, but it's deemed to be too OP, so it was removed for everyone but the druid, and consequently, it's why they never got a normal resurrect. And boom, there you have it. Priests are the best healers in World of Warcraft. True in 2004, true in 2020. Ooh, and here we go, a glossary of terms. Wait, no KYS? Well, that's inaccurate. It's funny to see how many of these stuck though, and which ones didn't. Like Mez, short for mesmerize, refers to spells and sexy-voiced YouTubers that incapacitate a target, such as, sleep? Well, okay, maybe that one is true, but hey, be nice to me. Oh wow, here's an interesting one. Mauled, to react angrily to something, such as a YouTube video for instance. That's weird. One thing is for sure though, after you've been mezzed by my voice, you'll definitely be grinding and pulling your root. At the end, we have some really nice maps for Elwyn and Tearsfall, showing points of interest, rares, trainers, vendors. Really useful at the time, I'm sure. I guess screw the other races though, you guys are on your own. But wait, what about my Night Elf High DPS Warrior? That's about it though. Like I said, the scans are in the description. When you have 30 minutes or so, go ahead and give it a read. It's a wild ride. All things considered, I think they did pretty well. I wonder if whoever wrote this still plays. Have they checked out Classic? Did they use Rend? All in all, the entire magazine is nostalgia overload. A time capsule that reeks of teenage angst and acne. One thing that caught me by surprise is the amount of ads there are. Like, you think YouTube plays ads like crazy? There are literally streaks of 10 to 15 pages of ads in this one issue. It's like 50% advertisements, it's crazy. Oh, and check this beast out. Intel Pentium 4, 530 HT technology, 512 MB DDR, and a Radeon X300. Ready and loaded with Windows XP, and only for $13.95. And no, the website is gone unfortunately, I checked. It's long gone, and so too are the days of our lives. It's a little fun, a little melancholic, and a little beautiful. It's a special thing to be able to relive long-forgotten memories of friends, places, or games, and I think that's one of the reasons why people love classics so much. You can bicker all day about game design, balance, or whatever. For some, it simply takes them back to a time where their life was more simple. Your worry wasn't paying the next bill, or worrying about the health of yourself or your loved ones. Your real worry was making sure that Rend was leveled up so you could beast on some fools. It's something that should be looked on with fondness, not sadness. And just as you remember those days, take special note of the moments you have today and those around you, because 15 years from now, you'll be doing the same damn thing.
Farewell for now, mortals. We hope you enjoyed today's video. See you again soon.